Today I'm going to be installing the ETS Intercooler with the upper piping and lower piping on the Mitsubishi EVO 10. Currently I've just got the cold air intake from ETS, which is obviously this one here. Huge comb filter with the piping. I ordered this from the States a couple of weeks ago, so I'm going to get the full ETS piping, which is going to obviously definitely enhance looks but performance as well. This is the standard intercooler, plain. Obviously I'll show you guys in a minute. I've got the black stencil on the front. So I think first steps are bumper off, remove the top piping, underneath piping and the intercooler itself. So I've got it jacked up a little bit, just might be easier to get it off from underneath. So yeah. So guys, bumper's off now. Got it all exposed. It was a bit of a task, to be fair, but it's off. There was another bolt that went right in here that I did miss. Obviously eventually found it. So next I think job should be take the upper intercooler piping off, which is obviously here. Take this clamp off, fold it round as an elbow, and you just want to take that off. So we'll do that now. So it's going to be a 10mm. Pretty hard to get to be fair, but you can just get a socket on it. Once you undo this hose clip, you should be able to just slide it up when it's loose enough. Like so. And then the hard part is obviously get your muscles on, pull it off. It can be quite hard. Bit of movement. There we go. It's one side off. Oh, there we go. Off there. And there's the pipe. Okay, so the next bit I would suggest would be, you've probably already removed this air filter housing. With what I've got set up, I could probably keep all this. I'm just going to remove the blow valve pipe here and here, which gives me access to the intake manifold. That should probably be good. Probably going to be easier if you take this out, which if you've got the standard intake filter housing, you probably take that out. I think I can keep that in. But obviously here's the nut that holds in this lower piping. So this off, and loosen this, because you have to take that off if you've got the both sides of piping. A lot of people just run this top one, which is probably enough, but I went for the whole kit. So I'm going to remove that next. So take this 12. This is a 12mm nut that comes out of here, and you're going to want to just pry that off a little bit. Intake's off, so next part is remove this lower part. So again, same thing, this 10mm, give it a good waggle. You've also got another one of these here which needs taking off, and that should be easily enough just fall out. Once you've got those off, this will come straight out. There was another one on the back, right there, but definitely, I remember it's there. One on the top, near where the blow valve pipe comes up, and just underneath it there's another one. looks like that. Intercooler is off. So put that to the side with the rest of the stuff. It's time to get the new ones on. Okay guys, here's the new intercooler piping and the ETS intercooler. Bonny looking thing, to be fair. Got the black stencil. Nice big thick core. Welds and mint on it. So this is the pipe that runs underneath, obviously with the blow valve, piece of the piping, and that's the one that runs on the top. So it comes with all the couplings and these clamps. Bit of a different system to the OEM one, but probably a lot better. Nice secure fit, so yeah, looks good. Let's get it in. So guys, that's the intercooler itself on the core. Unfortunately, you do have to reuse the 2 bolts underneath, which obviously mine are rusty, so I'll be able to try and get a hold of some new ones, because I know you can't see them, but it's kind of taken away from the niceness of this. But anyway, on the hangers, make sure you take the cardboard off the back if you do have one of these, otherwise this is going to do absolutely nothing. But it looks good. So now we need to put the couplings on here and on here, and then piping time. Lower intercooler piping is on. So we've obviously got a coupler between here, 2 clamps. Make sure obviously can't move whatsoever, nice and tight. Same on this side. This is the 90-degree bend. This piping goes in the existing hole where the old intercooler piping went. Got a coupler, so obviously make sure that's tight as anything. And if you look down here, we have the throttle body. This is slightly wider at the top, 2.75 I think it is. So, and obviously this, when you've got it in your hand you can tell. So that needs, I recommend obviously doing this top bit first, because it's a lot harder to get on and off. And that goes down another coupler to the top of here. So the last one is the, if you can see it, sorry, the blow off valve pipe, this one. And that's all the top bit done. Got the upper intercooler piping on. So obviously it connects down here. 2 clamps, obviously meet them in the middle. One at the top, one at the bottom. It's probably the best way for it. Joins to this one. 2 clamps there. And goes all the way back to the turbo with a coupler. So obviously it's really small there, big here. Get them all lined up. So last but not least, blow valve piping, straightforward, and then we're ready for a start up. Right guys, so blow valve all back together, straight down and go straight into the new intercooler piping, quite nice and cushy. So everything's tightened up. I think we're ready for the first start. Seems to be alright, so bumper back on, take it for a test drive. Actually the next day me filming this, car's all back together. I didn't have time to take it for a test drive yesterday, so it's all back together. I've done it a quick check through, and I'll do a few pulls and check everything's working perfect. At this moment in time I think we're all good, but we need to properly get into boost to check everything's tightened up correctly and stuff like that. So we'll just get a little bit of distance. Just pulls there, to be fair, no problems. Just heading down to get some country roads where we can give her a good thrashing. And the bus has just pulled out. She sounds good. We're just gonna have to overtake this bus at some point. So first initial impressions, it feels a little bit quicker than it did before. That's without a tune or anything, obviously. I've got the full ETS exhaust to go on as well, so once that's on with a tune, she'll be a lot quicker. But at this, I think we might get a chance here, to be fair. Definitely quicker, 1,000,000%. Everything seems to be tightened up properly. Yeah, definitely nothing wrong with that. Nice. Slow down a wee bit. That's the place. I'm glad they didn't see me just doing that. Second gear pull. Jesus. Yeah. I'd have to say that's bang on. Happy with the performance. It's only a slight performance, but you can feel it. Definitely pulls a bit better, and it's obviously, this was a stock EVO, so it's 298 brake, which for an EVO isn't a lot, so I would have to say it's at least pushing 310 maybe, or maybe 305, something like that. I think they'll gain a good 10 horsepower from what we've done. Taking a left down here. Jeez, I'm definitely happy with that. I don't hear any boost, I don't hear any leaks or any pipes hissing, so I would say everything's tightened up right. I could do with a pressurizer test to pressure the system, but at this moment in time I don't know if we need it. Perfect, man, perfect. I think my plan with the EVO is, horsepower wise, maximum 400. I'm not really one for crazy like 500, 600, 700 horsepower builds. I just feel like you lose most of the, one, reliability of the car, two, the practicality, and for street road use 400 wheel horsepower is definitely enough. My EVO 8 is 330 because it's an FQ model, FQ330, and even that seems just perfect for the road. But 400, it's a nice manageable. It's not too much, it ain't too little. Keeps you excited, so I think that's what I'm going to aim for this. So hopefully with all the mods I put on, this big intercooler, cold air intake, 3-inch exhaust, it's surely got to be enough for 400. Anything else anything else I need I'll get, but from what little research I've done, it's enough for 400 horsepower, so. Crazy how these EVOs just stick to the road. Even with traction off, there's like no slip. It doesn't even try to get out. The all-wheel drive is perfect on these EVOs. I love them. I have to say the EVO 8, the drivetrain on that is the best out of them all, but this 10 just sticks. So guys, all in all, the install was a success. Difficulty scale, for someone like me who's not got much experience modifying cars, doing any sort of car work, I'd give it like maybe a 5 or a 6 difficulty. It's not that bad, out of 10 anyway. Hardest part was getting those OEM pipes off that have obviously been on since the start. It takes some strength, some waggling, but they come off. Fitment was good. A little bit tight on the ETS stuff, a little bit tight fitment. I would have liked it to have been a bit easier to manoeuvre, play with, a bit more movement. But all in all, the actual fitment, once it's together, it's perfect. The clamps are good, the couplings are good. So, yeah, a success altogether, I'd say. Next one's the exhaust, get it fitted, then I'll be getting it tuned and see what we can get it up to on the dyno. Be interesting to see. So yeah, anyway guys, thanks for watching the video. Do appreciate if you could like and subscribe. Quite a bit of effort went into this one. And I think by the next video you'll see this with the ETS exhaust on. It's going to sound a lot better because the stock exhaust doesn't do anything for me. It's way too quiet for an EVO anyway. So next time you see that, exhaust will be on. And I'll probably do a video when it's getting tuned. So yeah, for now guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.